Salisbury Center, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's Bonerge Umanzor.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to CageZilla 81 for our second fight of the evening. Bonerge Umanzor is making his way to the ring, standing at a towering 6'2". This 196-pounder is fighting out of Aikido.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited to present to you a Boonchu fight. This is a custom rule set that we put on here at CageZilla every now and then. There will be no grappling in this fight. For all intents and purposes, this is a full rules striking match in 4-ounce gloves with no ground grappling. They will break up. They will allow clinches to a degree. That you will be able to throw all weapons available to you in an MMA fight. I am very excited. This is an incredibly fun way for guys who have some striking history or come from a striking gym to get their first feel in 4-ounce gloves and the authority in which you can land. Right now we have a 200-pound weight class Catchweight bout. Here, both fighters have weighed in around 195, 96 pounds. And it's always fun here at CageZilla when Boonchu is on the card.
Absolutely. Boonchu is one of the most exciting formats brought to the table. And for those of you who are fans of Thai Championship Boxing and Muay Thai, you can think of this as kind of a Muay Thai bout brought to the extreme. Like you said, it's going to be those smaller gloves with a ton of extra weapons added. No need for pads here. This is going to be crazy.
And for everybody at home who doesn't necessarily understand like size difference in gloves, a Muay Thai bout, you're going to have 10-ounce gloves on. We got 6 left. There's over half the padding on his fists right now. And now so to Chris to welcome the opponent to the ring.
And his opponent, making his way to the ring and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Dareyis Stewart.
And Dareyis Stewart is going to match up against Bonerge. He's quite a bit shorter at 5'7", but is going to match him in weight at 195.6 pounds. This 23-year-old fights out of 9 Realms MMA.
So again, now you're seeing him with the traditional Muay Thai garb on. So again, somebody who's coming from more of a striking background, walking into CageZilla. I'm very excited because when these guys feel the authority you can land, I remember when Arthur Payton out of Kaizen had his first Boonchu fight, it was a confidence builder from him. All of a sudden, all the Muay Thai bouts, the no shin guards, all of those things, the anxiety, they went down a peg because he got this experience.
One thing to note about Dareyis is that he was incredibly locked in, incredibly focused when I was trying to talk to him in the back, to the point that he forgot to mention that one of the people he's fighting for right now is his newborn son, who is coming into the world just a few days ago. He's trying to make a statement for him and try to enter into CageZilla with now a 1-0 record.
That's an amazing amount of motivation behind him. I'm excited to see what we get here now. Both these guys, 200 pounds is not going to be the weight class they stay at. This was a short notice fight. I know Brent talked to me that this opportunity just popped up. So all credit to these guys who just want to come out here for a unique experience and kind of just show their prowess, show their courage. We're going to throw it to Chris Fuller to get this fight underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the CageZilla Boonchu 200-pound division. It is brought to you by our friends at Lindsay Automotive Group. You'll love it at Lindsay. And Green Village Concrete, the level best in Northern Virginia. And now, starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6'2" and weighing in at 196 pounds, fighting out of Aikido, he is making his CageZilla debut. It's Bonerge Umanzor! And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'9" and weighing in at 195 pounds, fighting out of 9 Realms MMA, he is also making his CageZilla debut. It's Dareyis Stewart! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. It is a Boonchu Cup style bout, which means this is basically a Muay Thai bout with MMA gloves. There will be no takedowns. It is brought to you by our friends at Lindsay Automotive Group and Green Village Concrete. And your referee is Michael Dolman.
Mr. Michael Dolman is going to take center stage and sanctify this second bout. Very excited for this one, of course. We've talked a lot about Boonchu, and it has been one of the most popular attractions here at CageZilla for a while now, Liam. But both of these fighters new to CageZilla as well as new to this format.
Okay, we're underway. There's going to be a lot of attributes we want to see. Who's quicker? Who has the length? Right now, obviously. Oh, Lord. Those are heavy.
Yeah, Bo's doing a really good job guiding those legs, getting solid shots, trying to chop down the shorter tree. This is not a strategy you see a lot out of the taller opponents, but clearly he has been conditioned and has trained for this specific format, as this is something that, while still devastating in MMA more broadly, you don't really get to see as much, as those takedowns are always a risk. But here he is just absolutely throwing fire right now, and while Dareyis is keeping that guard up, I feel like he's taking the brunt of most of these shots.
So every time you see Dareyis's leg kind of shift over across him, you're going to see that's Bo landing well. That is Bo scoring. Dareyis is trying to check these. He's just not angling his shin out enough to really cause that damage.
Absolutely the case. And now we are going to get into a classic Muay Thai style clinch. Taller opponent right now with that right knee available is going to fire a few shots to the ribs of Dareyis before the clinch is broken up. Looking for a re-engage now. I'm trying to see if Bo's nostril may be dripping a little bit of blood right now. Can't quite tell at this angle.
No, I can't. But Bo has very dexterous legs. He's whipping these kicks very well, and then he puts them up high well, too. A good flurry there. Right now, that Thai high shell is not working out well for Dareyis. I'm seeing a lot of those smaller punches get through. That's something that kickboxers always allowed, that high shell with big 10-ounce gloves on. It covers a lot, but with 4-ounce, those slip through.
Yeah, you can see the proximity of the forearms to the face of Dareyis. He's having to get so tight in that things are naturally going to sneak past, and maybe some of it's bouncing off of his guard, but not enough for him to not be taking a ton of damage right now. And it's just absolute destruction, as once again Bonerge is going to continue his flurry. Finally, Dareyis throws himself up against the wall, able to get a clinch versus his opponent, looking for knees of his own.
At some point, Bo has to be careful about unloading so much that he gets fatigued from it. Now, Dareyis is giving him the target. If you smell blood and you're a shark, you go eat. But he's gonna have to figure out something that makes Dareyis like stumble back. Because right now he's pot shotting, and I'm wondering how consistent he can do that over 3 rounds.
Absolutely the case. That being said, it is tiring to be in Dareyis's position as well. This is no walk in the park in terms of him being able to store energy. Taking this much punishment is going to tire him out. It's going to make latter rounds more difficult for him to find a killing blow. Even if it is the case that Bo begins to lag, I'm a little bit worried for the blue corner's prospects right now. That being said, we are reset back to a neutral position as the clappers sound. Let's see if we can get any offense in to maybe turn the tide of this first round.
Bo is definitely slowing down slightly in the sense of his kicks. He's not so ready to throw kicks. He's starting to feel like, oh, wow, throwing 20 of those in the last round really was tiring. And for anybody at home, 1 kick is generally worth the same amount of energy as a 3-piece combo. So 1 kick might land real hard, but you could have thrown 3 punches as well. And we're going to see, can Bo sustain a leg kicking attack?
That's definitely going to be something that we are watching for in the cards here for the second round. Note the difference in how these 2 corners are operating right now. I believe 9 Realms is doing their classic thing that we see a lot in TCB as well, where they're saying, we're denying you that stool for the first round. You're going to be here. You're going to be activated moving into the second one here. And the advice he's being given one-on-one versus the fact that we have Bo over there, who is looking quite winded, to your point, Liam, slouched up against the wall on his stool.
Yeah, I like what's going on in the 9 Realms corner right now. They're talking about him like, you're defending yourself, but you are not fighting back. They are asking their fighter to get active and get going.
Absolutely, and we see so many times in which Dareyis is punched and just doesn't have a response besides to shell up even tighter, and in many cases that has been to his downfall. Fact of the matter is, if you're going to get hit, try to bring something as a response here. Try to get some damage onto Bo. He's clearly lagging a little bit here moving into the second round. We're going to see whether or not this angle you were talking about is actually going to come into play, because if I'm looking at these 2 fighters, it certainly looks like the blue corner is a little bit less winded.
Let's see if Bo comes out, puts a stamp on it in the beginning like he did the first round. Right there, back to the leg kick. He has the energy back for it. Let's see if he can sustain it through the round now. Ooh, let's try to retract those kicks, though.
Absolutely. As we see a lot of these Muay Thai style fighters start to lag a bit in their kicks, that is the time to maybe grab, maybe find an angle in. Now, of course, you can't take down off of a leg pick or something like that, but it could still certainly be valuable. What I'm a little bit worried here out of Dareyis, besides the fact that he is still, once again, playing defensively, is the fact that he is keeping that left leg forward for the majority of this fight. And Liam, what that implies to me is this is the one taking a lot of damage. Eventually, you're going to feel that, and you may not be able to stand for this third round.
Yeah, he's just doesn't understand how to get in. Like, right there, when he's running in with his guard up, that's the time to throw a punch as you enter. Right now, Dareyis just has a fundamental misunderstanding. How do I get past this length? Because he's trying to, all he's looking for is a clinch right now. Dareyis is not trying to box. Dareyis is not trying to box. He's not even kicking back at space. He just wants to get his hands on Bow. And Bow, all he has to do is keep Dareyis in the circle pattern. Dareyis needs to cut the cage. He needs to take a hard step to the left. Right now, as Bow circles, Dareyis is like a tube following in a boat's wake.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's trying the old rope-a-dope where he's just I'm just gonna let Bow punch me in the head until he gets tired, and then I'm gonna start throwing some stuff. He's just sitting there eating punishment, not see right there, not throwing anything back, not countering at all.
And granted, Bow can do this game for a long time. We're already over halfway through this round right now. And Bow can just kind of pot shot and slide back. Granted, those aren't the hardest punches you can throw. Your body mate's weight is moving in the opposite direction as the punch you're throwing. It won't land with the same type of authority like that right hand right there.
But they're scoring points, Liam.
Absolutely. Now, Dareyis is doing exactly what his coach has said. Build frames in the clinch and then elbow off of them or find extra strikes. This is where Dareyis feels like he has his advantage. But Dareyis needs to do more with this moment. Right now, they're just jockeying. He needs more hard thuds.
And you can hear the Nine Realms corner the entire time this clinch is happening yelling, knee, 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 because that is the extra angle that we aren't seeing Dareyis trying to work off. He's finally got his ideal position up against the taller fighter, but isn't making the most of it. Finally, though, a big elbow up against the temple.
Bow is hurt. He misstumbled. He may have also, he's like very light on his feet, so he could also just hurt an ankle, but one of those elbows rocked him a little bit.
Yeah, he was trying to blink that elbow off. That you're right, Liam. That one did hurt him. I've got a little bit of a different angle than you guys have up in the booth, so I can kind of look into their eyes, and he was dazed for a second.
Dareyis is tired, though.
Yeah.
Can't even get those knees up. They're kind of just bouncing off of the thigh of Bow, and unfortunately, that isn't going to have the same ferociousness that you will see out of something like a leg kick.
There's the cut. No, he can't fall right there. That's him cutting the cage well. He needs to keep this pressure and start boxing more, though. Dareyis needs to get confidence in his hands because when he's in that mid-range, the reason why he has these good moments that Chris found cage side is catching, but we are slightly missing just ever so, is because they're happening in the clinch. You can hide damage when you get to grab and hold yourself up. If Dareyis throws boxing on the inside, clinches, and then when that clinch separates, throws more hands, he's gonna catch Bow running away with the hands down. Part of Bow's tactics right now is this light, pop, pop, backwards, pop, pop, move to light, pop, pop, move left. That all goes out the door when as you're moving out trying to fire that blow, you get hit with a hook. But Dareyis is stopping all offense the moment the clinch ends.
Absolutely. I do think that, once again, I'm going to have to say that round is probably scored towards the red corner. But the thing is, I'm coming out of the second round a lot more positive on Dareyis Stewart's strategy overall because we do see that he is getting valuable shots when he finally, after a while, gets built up to land them. And frankly, there is a chance at a finish here moving into this third round. Bow is clearly becoming much slower in his shots. I think they're doing less damage overall. He's hoping to take this to the distance and win on points. I think Dareyis may be able to finally land that rope-a-dope that Chris was alluding to.
Well, one thing that you can't take away from Dareyis is that chin. He has absorbed a lot of punishment, especially in that first round, and just came back for more. So look for him to put something together really quickly here.
Look, right there. That was Bow, being tough and not showing how much that right hand has hurt him. If Dareyis starts boxing in these mid-ranges, Bow's hands are sitting low at his chest. He's using, his feet are his defense. His guard is not.
And even Bow's offense, the shots per second are much lower than what we saw in the past. This could be a valuable opportunity. Dareyis has found himself once again in the clinch right next to his corner, who's once again shouting for those knees to come up, but I feel like maybe Dareyis just doesn't have the energy anymore. Look at how low those are landing, basically doing nothing to Bow.
And the bad thing about that is those knees, while they're scoring points, are not going to win him this fight. He's got to separate and try to end this.
He didn't have his mouth guard in.
Wow.
Oh, that's an oversight.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you think that this is a matter of maybe Bow being too dazed to have his wits about him regarding that?
No, that's just you're in the heat of it. The corner didn't put it back in, and great job by our referee, Mike Dolman, for catching that mid-fight.
Ooh.
You can see that mouth is open, though, for Bow.
That's exactly what, that's that sound I just made. I saw his mouth hanging wide open, just ready to get tagged.
And look at this. Every time he's sliding away, he doesn't want to be in the firefight right now. He wants to poke at this distance where he is a great operator from. Dareyis is good to fall into that clinch, but he does need to do more with his efforts in here like he did the first round. Oh,
he took a low blow.
Mike didn't see it, though. He has to defend himself at all times just because you took it.
He did.
Yeah, and we did see that little bit of extra offense that was landed, Liam, following the low blow. Good call by you guys to see that, as Michael Dolman will break it up, send Dareyis to a neutral corner. We're going to see, with a minute and a half still left on the clock, how this is going to impact the last few moments of this match.
Well, I know it impacted him right there because he absorbed a lot of punishment because he was hurt. He took 3 or 4 good shots to the head just because he took a low blow.
Yeah, Dareyis needs to treat this like a minute and a half sprint right here.
Absolutely.
There's no more being patient. You have a minute and a half to work now, and you have a guy who has shown he will sacrifice power on his shots to land and survive.
And the Nine Realms team is ultra aggressive, typically. So I would expect that, and I've been expecting it this
Bow got hit
round.
with a nice right hand.
Yeah, absolutely clocking him off the jaw there. We're going to see if Dareyis is going to be able to leverage that into anything more. Right now, clinch, though, denying him the opportunity to get a whole lot more in extra offense. And now I think certainly his nose is bleeding.
Oh, absolutely. And
oh, that's a good
Dareyis
shot.
has the disadvantage of being the shorter one, so naturally he just carries more of the weight in the clinch. Even though it's where he wants to be mechanically, he's at the disadvantage being the shorter fighter.
You got to circle off right here. You got to get out of this. You're not going to win the fight with your back against the cage right now.
Dolman will break them up, but as long as they're working to advance. There we are. Dolman recognizes that they're just that Bow's just trying to kind of stall out the clock there.
That was a lot of time burned. That's going to be a dropped mouth guard. Once again, mouth open. Bow's totally gassed. We need to see the scores come through for Dareyis, not only in terms of points, but in terms of actual shots to do damage. He needs to try to end this, or this just may go the way of the red corner.
If Dareyis wants reward, he has to risk. That is the end-all, be-all of the game right now. This is the right place for him. Elbows, walk him down, but you got to hear a 10-second clacker right here. This is the sprint that he should have been having this whole 30 seconds, not just in the last 10.
Absolutely.
Right back to the knees, not doing enough. There's the bell to end this fight. And while I thought we may see the dawn of a new era for Dareyis Stewart there at the end, I think once again it's Bonerge Umanzor coming away with it just off the strength of his first 2 rounds.
And I could argue the other way, too. We saw Bow get hurt and rocked in that second round. We don't know if the judges recognize that, value that the same way. He was reeling backwards, kind of trying to get away from the exchanges, maybe trying to get his high ground. We're going to see. This is a hard bout to judge. I could see it going either way. I'm not holding on to any particular outcome right now.
Certainly the case that we've had surprising outcomes before here in CageZilla. We're going to see if it's going to continue here for the second round of CageZilla 81. I do think that regardless of who comes out the winner, though, what a debut. We are going to see one of these tension moments. Just trying to keep that inside. Yeah, absolutely the case. We saw a few knees go that way before. This time, unfortunately, just poorly angled, and that led to Bout getting that breathing room to try to bring it back, and he turned that into trying to smother Dareyis to prevent any more offense from an opponent that he could feel had a little bit more energy than him at the end.
Both guys are going to have great learning moments coming out of here. I think Bow his energy management is probably the biggest takeaway he has. He also is going to have a big reality check in terms of how hard he hits with the style he's using. I think he could really thud, but he needs to be putting his weight forward instead of pot-shotting backwards. Hey, as a backwards moving and evasive fighter myself, all credit to you. But eventually, if you're going to get somebody running towards you, let's create car crashes, not just always poking for the distance.
And we're going to see whether or not that philosophy will cost him here, as we're going to throw it over to Chris Fuller to deliver the verdict.
Salisbury Center, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge 1 scores about 29-28, Umanzor. Judge 2 scores about 29-28, Stewart. And Judge 3 scores about 29-28 for your winner by split decision. Out of the right corner, it's Bonerge Umanzor.
And Liam, you talked about how even that was in your eyes. I think that this is the best kind of decision to have debuting in CageZilla when 2 people seem so evenly matched.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, everybody here learned, everybody here grew. I think Dareyis can leave that fight with the confidence of, oh, if I just do more, I will have a better outcome. Meanwhile, Bo got great experience in there.
Like and subscribe to CageZilla.